What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Now, we all remember Michael Jackson and the height of his fame when he was blowing up with the Thriller out. We all remember the Motown 25th reunion. We all remember those moments. We've seen them, even those people who weren't even born during that time knew about the fame of Michael. So when you start talking about who did what, you know, who was great and all the things they did, like all these entertainers have eccentric personalities and the things that they do, it's common. You're gonna hear all these situations, all these scenarios. But it's very rare that you see someone goes out and purchase a zoo. And you're like, what? It's like, yeah, a zoo. Michael Jackson went before acquiring a zoo, he went ahead and acquired something else. He acquired a chimpanzee named Bubbles. Bubbles was Michael's best little friend. He carried Bubbles around everywhere he went. It was Michael and Bubbles. They were inseparable. They did TVs, they went to China, sipped tea. Now he got Bubbles when Bubbles was like 6 months old or something like that from a research facility in Texas. So once they got Bubbles, you know, they treated Bubbles like he was a person. Michael dressed him up like him. It was getting all the headline news. He was adorable. This took Michael to a whole nother spectrum. Him and Bubbles. Bubbles was being treated better than the brothers. And that was troubling. Some people were jealous of Bubbles and Michael's relationship as far as like the monkey got more stuff than me. How is the monkey getting more than me? The monkey got a bigger dressing room than me. And while the animal keeper was there, there was something going on. I forgot what was happening, but it was the animal keeper was there, and was that at the ranch? Anyhow, as more and more people clamored and wanted to see Bubbles and the press and all of these things, Bubbles was like a kid, and when the press wants to get to Michael and do things, and he have to hold Bubbles. And they brought in an animal, some guy that was there that could handle Bubbles when Michael have to do things and Bubbles couldn't be around, and they had to put Bubbles, like or if they go somewhere on a plane, Bubbles have to go in a cage. This would upset Bubbles, and it would make him feel as if he's being punished. Now, the only person that was allowed to punish Bubbles or say Bubbles stop, was Michael. Michael was the one that could do that. Now, chimpanzees are very, they're part of the ape family and they're territorial, but they're like kids. They act out if they don't get their way. They're used to getting spoiled, and he used to wear a diaper, and he would actually go to the bathroom, and he would sit in the bed, eat cereal. He was a true thinking he was human chimpanzee. But he started to become a little aggressive because once they moved him from the house to Neverland Ranch, like years later, that's when things got a little crazy. And they first got him in that big house on the ranch, and he was able to move around. He treated that as his territory, and he was not anybody who came to visit. They were presumed as a threat before anything else. So Quincy Jones had came to visit Michael at the house, and while he came over there to visit, he had his daughters with him, and one of the daughters was playing with Bubbles, and she was, she's seen Michael with Bubbles, and Michael would tell Bubbles to stop doing something, and stop Bubbles, and then Bubbles would stop, and so these are kids. So when you see kids, they see somebody playing with Bubbles and things of that nature, and next thing you know, she's in there trying to discipline Bubbles, and that didn't go quite well. She tried to tell Bubbles to stop and took something away from Bubbles and tell him to stop. Bubbles bit her hand so hard he almost broke the bone. She screamed, of course, and the trainers, Michael, and everybody panicked. Blood started coming down. They got her hand fixed, and of course, Quincy was pissed off, but they weren't going back over there to Michael's house. They took care of everything. It was no big public display of, you know, anything else. But yeah, after this incident, it was reported that someone that was working there, one of the staff members, was bitten by Bubbles. Bubbles had bitten someone else and was becoming a little bit too aggressive. I remember he was excited one time and didn't attack, but jumped on, you know, Jay, Jam Master Jay from Run DMC, and Jay like threw Bubbles off of him, and that ended the whole vibe between Michael Jackson and Run DMC. So that was out of the question. Jay wasn't used to no monkeys jumping on him, so that was out. That wasn't finna happen. Now that that was done and was completed, there was another incident where apparently Bubbles hurt Michael's arm, and he had like a couple of incidents with Michael. He tried to scratch Michael's face and pulled his nose and broke it. And one of the surgeries Michael had was to repair a broken nose. Now you got to remember, these are Michael Jackson incidents, so a lot of them could be fed by fake propaganda media. You know, it's like he ripped one of Michael's fake noses off. But I'm like, I did hear that he broke Michael's nose before grabbing it by accident because he's so strong. You know, and he was getting older then at this point. Then there's the iconic time, you know, where he injured the arm of Michael, grabbed Michael's wrist, and they say he like fractured it or bruised it really bad. So Mike was like Michael was in like a little temporary cast, you know, for his arm just to keep it in place. But it was mostly psychological for Michael because Michael needed that. You know, he needed to have some type of band aid to make sure he was okay. If his arm wasn't wrapped, you know, he would feel insecure, which led to him because he had to perform. And so he had the whole arm wrapped up in a black bandage to make it look like it was part of his outfit. And it kind of worked out for his image. But it's like it was just a bad bruise. He didn't break a bone. But it was becoming very noticeable to everyone that Bubbles could no longer be around people. He was getting to the point where he was becoming very volatile. Even one of the trainers that they brought over, Bubbles attacked him, jumped on him, and tried to bite him. But he was subdued. But he was becoming increasingly strong and very hostile. So they started to keep Bubbles locked in the cage like 24/7. Like he can't come out. People come over and be like, hey, it's Bubbles. And they be, no, no, don't go near the cage. And Bubbles be like freaking out. People come over to see Bubbles and he'll just be freaking out in the cage. And I never understood why, but he would just freak out and start shaking the cage like a maniac. So yeah, it was happening. It was happening a lot back then. A lot of different things. So around 2003, I think that's when Bubbles was moved from Neverland Ranch, and they moved him to a center in California, I think, where people can view him and, you know, put him in a center for apes where he could be taken care of and, you know, go about his life. Because once Michael got his kids, he knew that, you know, that's not going to be a good environment to have Bubbles around the kids because he's too big and strong and, you know, he's going into adulthood and he's going to hurt somebody. So they moved him in a center for other apes where he can, you know, interact and, you know, he's a celebrity. People want to go see Bubbles. People still go in there. He is alive and well. You know, many reports said that he died, but he didn't die. He's alive and well. He's into like I'm saying, he's into the camp. But yeah, Bubbles had a whole list of assaults on his resume. So I mean, nobody sued Michael. I think Michael took care of everything. You know, everybody got a bag of money. So when you get a bag of money, oh, here, you just take the money. You know, that was it. Doctor bills paid for. You got a bag of money. You'd be like, oh, this will heal up in a week. I'm going to Aruba. Thanks, Mike. So that's what it was like. Now, for me, I look at this as a learning lesson. I'm not getting anything in my house stronger than me. So anyway, I'm out. I gotta get out of here. But don't forget, man, support the page. Hit the Streamlab up. If y'all want to do a video chat, if you got like a PC or a little laptop and you can do that, we could do one of those. If you want to do a debate, let me know. Comment section or whatever. I could send you an invite to do that, or just let me know in the comment section. Or if you just want to donate on Streamlab, Cash App, you can. Carcino's that name. Subscribe, notification button, all the good stuff. I'm out.